Hi guys, this is Hero, and in today's video I'm going to be having a discussion on more advanced meditation. So in the last two videos I talked about beginner and the intermediate level. So the beginner was kind of just basically how to develop any kind of awareness whatsoever. I gave you guys a very easy method, and the intermediate is basically, okay, once you kind of recognize what awareness is and stuff like that, we're basically going to kind of want to implement changes in our life so that our awareness comes a little bit more easier to us. And you could do practices like meditation, like not just before you go to sleep. Like you can do it whenever you want, and now because you're at that level, it'll actually be useful to you since you already kind of know how to tap into that awareness. But in this advanced topic, so right here, meditation is a way of life. So once you get to this point, you're kind of realizing that doing stuff kind of to gain awareness isn't kind of like something you do. It's more just something that's ongoing 24/7. So like in the intermediate stage, for example, like you tap into that awareness like when you meditate, but then after that it's you go about your day. But this is kind of realizing that even throughout your day, you're constantly being aware of new things at a spiritual level, mental level, whatever. So first I'm going to talk about some advanced techniques. So there's grounding, walking, yoga, praying, and basically anything that any practice that you're doing to kind of further help you gain awareness in your activities, not just during that specific activity. So let me give you an example. So grounding here, what grounding is kind of you're walking on grass barefoot, preferably in the sunlight, and you're basically just living in the present. But you're not just regularly living in the present. You're being also not just aware of what's going on at that time, but you're being aware of what's because your mind is kind of in a very calm place. You're also being aware of the stuff that's bothering you on a day-to-day life. So grounding is basically just walking in the grass. Walking is something that we all do on a day-to-day basis, but we're using this kind of as a technique to further be aware of the stuff that's going into our subconscious, okay? And you'll kind of see what I mean when you get to this level. Or for example, yoga, right? Yoga, a lot of us do this, for stretching and stuff like that, and it's great for that. But, kind of in the Indian, original way, it was also used as a very good way to become aware of things, right? So in our day-to-day, and why is it important to do this? Okay, so also for example, praying, we're not just being aware in the moment of, it's not about the actual prayer itself. It's about when we're tapped into that frequency, what does our awareness kind of recognize that it doesn't recognize on the daily, okay? So in our day-to-day life, we usually have a routine. And when we get in this routine, a lot of the stuff that's going on, that's bothering us in our mind, we shove down, usually without thinking about it, but sometimes even with thinking about it as well. This basically, it allows you to break up that routine and become aware of things, okay? So you're becoming aware of things in the moment. While you're praying, you become aware of it. While you're grounding, you become aware of it. While you're walking or doing yoga, you become aware of it. But also, what you also want to do is, okay, I'm not just becoming aware of things in this moment and then the rest of my day I'm just doing whatever. We're basically raising ourselves to a certain level of awareness, and then throughout the day, we're also trying to keep that awareness up. So, while we're just walking around, doing whatever, while we're walking to our car or in the mall or whatever, or while we're having a conversation, we're able to kind of recognize that the things that we weren't able to recognize before. So this basically kind of just pulled us up. And now in the intermediate phase, we're doing these kind of things to pull us up, but then we come back down. Now in the advanced, we're kind of just trying to stay up, okay? Meditation, way of life, I should mainly say, being aware is a way of life, okay? We're always trying to be aware no matter what we're doing. And if we kind of recognize that, hey, we're kind of sinking back down, then we do these activities. But these activities are just a tool. These aren't the end. The end is to be aware of what's going on all the time. When you're with, a group of people or something, and you recognize, certain insecurities in your mind or something, it's important to recognize them right on that spot, not just when you meditate afterwards. Okay? So being aware at all moments, that's kind of living in the present part too. It's not just It's not just being aware of like the superficial that's going on, right? A lot of us that whenever we do do a lot of our day-to-day activities, like I said, we're on autopilot. The step above that is kind of living in the present. Okay, just kind of breathing, living in the present, enjoying the moment. But the next step is living in the present part two. That's becoming aware of all our insecurities and all our vulnerabilities in that moment as well, so we can address them right on the spot. We don't necessarily need to, meditate afterwards to address them. That is good if we kind of see we're kind of losing that connection with our higher self. But the goal is being aware at all times. Next, unlearning habits and patterns. So when we meditate, we also we're aware of stuff. I'm aware of stuff. However, when we become aware of something while we're actually doing it, living our day-to-day life, that's the best way to unlearn those habits and patterns, okay? Let's just say, for example, you have a very bad habit of you're insecure and you tend to lie or exaggerate in your stories, okay? For an example. So, yeah, we could recognize that afterwards, right? But then, in the intermediate stage, we can recognize that while we're meditating, and then great, we can work on it. However, once we get to that stage where we're recognizing it right there and then, and our higher self is stronger than our ego telling us to lie or exaggerate, that's when we can really make the most change. And we can really, clean up our act, so to speak, and, do things that, are more in touch with our soul in the moment, not just, while we're doing certain spiritual activities, okay? Path to enlightenment, which is basically just seeing through the illusion of the ego. So imagine, without any awareness, you're kind of living your life with in a very dark room, okay? And then, kind of when you slowly start gaining awareness, imagine like a small candle and it's slowly getting brighter and brighter. And eventually you want to see the whole room. That analogy is basically representing you're seeing exactly why you're doing the things you're doing in your whole life, okay? We tend to just, a lot of our actions day to day, it's run on, just subconscious blind habit based off of, certain variables certain thoughts and feelings in our subconscious that are perpetuating that, okay? And also a lot of it is our ego just kind of controlling us. But as we gain connection with our soul, and as we kind of move on to more advanced stages of meditation, what will happen is you'll become aware of what's going on all the time, okay? Even when you're not meditating, even when you're, just chilling, with friends, or, you're at work, you can recognize certain insecurities that come up, when it comes to your upper management, or, with people that, you might manage yourself or something like that. So you're basically seeing the reason why you're doing everything in the actual moment, okay? And when you actually get to this stage, a lot of these techniques you'll recognize, they might not be as necessary anymore, right? Because you already have that touch with, that connection with, your higher conscious. So you're already aware. The whole point of gaining meditation is just getting that connection of awareness, kind of slow down your mind. But once you're already, slow down, and by slow, I don't mean, you're not able to function mentally. By slow, I mean you're not neurotic. Your anxiety isn't overpowering, your decision-making ability, okay? Once you kind of slow down your mind and you're able to think more grounded and rationally, you don't really need to meditate as much anymore. Yeah, there's always work to do, and you can meditate more and more to kind of gain higher. But the whole point of this advanced meditation is to realize that the meditation, spiritual life and non-spiritual life, they're not separate, okay? We always have an opportunity to gain awareness no matter what we're doing, whether we're meditating, whether we're talking, socially, or whether we're working, whatever. We always have a way to be aware and improve our mental and spiritual state, okay? So I hope this made sense. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, talk to you guys later. Thank you.